House Report 115-650. For what purpose does the gentleman from Texas seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I have an amendment at the desk.
The clerk will designate the amendment.
Amendment number 110, printed in Part A of House Report number 115-650, offered by Mr. Babin of Texas.
Pursuant to House Resolution 839, the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Babin, and a member opposed, each will control 5 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Texas.
Thank you. This amendment has bipartisan support, the support of my colleagues from Louisiana who've also been hit hard by hurricanes, Mr. Richmond and Mr. Graves. And I'm from Texas. Your word is your bond in the state of Texas. And I would hope that everyone here in Congress or across this great country who would want to say the same thing about their own state. Credibility, trust, and keeping your promise is always important, but especially in times of disaster and crisis. And when federal agencies like FEMA are called in to help communities ravaged by a natural disaster, we should expect nothing less. Anyone who has ever experienced a federally declared disaster knows that after ensuring the immediate health and safety needs of those who are affected, the top priority is to get the hazardous and dangerous storm damage cleaned up. As long as tree limbs, trash, and other debris remain in the streets, things cannot get back to normal, and they are a health and safety hazard. Kids cannot go back to school. Restaurants and shops can't open for business. The economy is at a standstill. And so when a FEMA employee, like a technical assistance contractor, or TAC, lays out a path for a mayor, a county judge, a county commissioner, or any other state or local official to get the federally funded debris removal process underway, they can and should be counted on to honor their commitment and their responsibility. My amendment will ensure that will be the case by holding FEMA accountable to the promises made and the contracts authorized by its own employees. Under my amendment, if a local government entity can show and the Department of Homeland Security Inspector General can certify that a local government was acting at the direction and the consultation of a FEMA technical assistance contractor regarding disaster relief efforts, government bureaucrats here in Washington cannot simply change their minds a few years down the road and decide to foot the locals with the bill. And so while this amendment is certainly about fairness, equity, and certainty for local governments, it is also about accountability for federal officials. FEMA officials will know that the advice and the recommendations that they offer actually matter. Local officials will rest assured knowing that the contracts and work that they are doing is valid and reimbursable. This means getting disaster-damaged municipalities up and running sooner, shortening the time frame that their citizens and businesses need federal assistance and save taxpayer money. I urge all of my